I know we have the unpopular section coming up, and I have my unpopular opinion ready. United is winning. 3 points. Let's go.
Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all our listeners tuning in from around the world. I'm your host Akash and I'm joined by my co-host Aviral. And today we have with us an active member of FPL USA, and she's a Crystal Palace fan as well. And it gives me absolute pleasure to welcome, and please join me in welcoming Diane from FPL USA. And hello, hi Diane, welcome to the Boys Café.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here, and it's great to connect. FPL brings different countries together. It's awesome.
Exactly, and I'm sure you must have watched the game yesterday. How happy are you regarding the result, and or are you a little disappointed with the 1-1?
Yeah, some Palace fans will be a little disappointed. I'm on the happy side. I think it's really great to get 1 point at Anfield. I think we haven't done that in the last 10 matches that we played there, so I'm feeling great about the team. It was a good draw.
And your game week overall, Diane, how was it?
It was good. Game week 1, I didn't start with Haaland. I had Kane, so that was kind of a bummer, but I brought him in, and then this week I had a decent green arrow, so I'm happy about that.
What about you, Aviral? How was your game week?
Pretty decent. Again, I started off with Haaland, so I didn't have to make that switch, so saved my transfer now, thinking for the next game week, what can I do with my 2 transfers? But overall, got a solid green arrow.
Yeah, Diane, just for your information, we have a mini league within ourselves, the WhatsApp group that we have, and Aviral is now leading the group. I know it doesn't matter for now, but yeah, it's usually a battle between the two of us. I am at second position right now. He is leading it. It was a good week for me as well. I had KDB as captain, so that paid off. And then I also did the Kane to Haaland switch, which in the longer run I think should pay off. Moving on, Diane, why don't you share with us about FPL USA and how you joined that group, and now we see you are an active member there as well. More about FPL USA.
Yeah, so last year, I think it was around January, FPL Black Wolf, I'm sure you've heard of him. He's everywhere. Yes. So he kind of got the ball rolling. He started the FPL USA hashtag, and he was really kind of promoting it, and a community sort of came together. And part of the rationale was so many of us in the US, because of our time zone, if we go on Twitter, at night, it was really quiet because everyone in England was already asleep, and so the social aspect of it was kind of missing. And so he kind of built this up, and now it's just a really it's built up quite a bit. We have weekly spaces, so then those are hosted by Dan Blackwolf and then Patrick, and so those are the evening before the first match starts, the game week deadline. So if you can catch one of those are really wonderful. And we also have a group chat going and some mini leagues going, and so it's just it's really growing, and it's been a really wonderful thing. It just took 8 months. It's been quite a difference. So yeah, I'm just glad to be kind of making friends in there and everything.
Right, and so Dan is also part of FPL Meets, and he usually helps everyone in organizing the meets, the global meets in USA. and we have a WhatsApp group as well for that. And we are taking lessons from him. So shout out to Black Wolf from that. We in India, because there are FPL fans in India as well. It's growing for now. It's not as much as there is in Africa or UK per se, but it's on the growing stage. And so we also want to, bring the community together like Dan did in US. So I represent Mumbai, and then we have another one of our boys in our group, Aditya. He represents Ahmedabad. So all of us are there in the group chat there with Nima, who started Global Beats.
How big is FPL India? Do you know how many how big is the community?
So I think Live FPL shared that image last week, where we have around 180,000 Indian FPL users. It's around 10th biggest in the world. Okay. The highest, I think, it's UK, and then it's followed by Egypt and Nigeria, and then we have USA also there, and then India is at 10th. So it's still growing, because we had very few active FPL players. Like Pranil was there, late riser, Zoff was there, Utkarsh, but now it's becoming more and more. People are getting more and more involved. So yeah, hoping it grows in the future. More about Palace, Diane. We know you're a big Crystal Palace fan. So for the benefit of the listeners, I already saw the pod with Kante, where you had mentioned about your love, how your story with Palace began. So for the benefit of the listeners, why don't you narrate again?
Sure.
How was it with Crystal Palace?
Yeah, so I became a Crystal Palace fan in 2014. That's when I actually started playing indoor soccer. And I had a coworker who also played soccer, and he got me into FPL in the first place. And as I started to get into it, I was like, well, I need a club to support. Who should I support? And I kind of wanted to avoid a big six club. I was hoping for a more of a underdog type club. And he said, well, why not Crystal Palace? They're recently promoted. Things are looking up for them. And I said, sure, why not? I mean, I didn't know anything about them at the time. So it was kind of like, a little bit arbitrary that he just told me, but he's a great friend, and I took his recommendation. And it's been fun to watch them. I think, to be honest, we're kind of a club that the expectations aren't super high. But last year and this year, I think it's really positive. I think it's the first time that we really feel like it's not just you go into a game and you're hoping for a draw, or you're hoping not to lose too badly. Now we're actually hoping to win and take more control of the game. So I think it's a really good time to be a Palace fan. So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I think since Vera took over, Palace have been. It's not just it's a boogie team, or we can just walk over that team. They have really shown that fighting spirit, Palace, and especially at home, they have been really good. I think Selhurst Park. I think it's more to do with the home crowd as well. They they're so supportive of the team, and really good defensive stats at Selhurst Park. I think they were in the top 5, if I'm not wrong, last year. More so in the second half of the season. And I think Vera is doing a good job. But which year was this, Dan? Since when have you been supporting Palace?
Since 2014. So when I grew up, I didn't know anything about Premier League. I watched American football, so I was in hockey. I was in a totally different sport mode. But so it wasn't until I was an adult that I found out about Premier League and FPL and Crystal Palace and everything. So I'm kind of a late fan. I didn't grow up watching it. It's something that has happened more in my adult life. But now I love it. It's like I was missing out all that time.
Yeah. And who's your favorite player from Palace?
Oh gosh, I think it has to be a tie between Ebery Eze and Michael Olise.
Both.
I
Both
just love to
exciting players.
watch
I think. Yeah.
both of them. And I mean, I love the team. Zaha, of course, he's been amazing. But when I watch the players, like my favorite ones to watch are Eze and Olise.
Also, if you know her team name, that is also based on Eze.
Yes,
So,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I named
Yes.
my FPL team Ebery Nice Day. So yeah, it's after Eze.
All right. I think both should get more game time this season. They were injured, I think, last season, so couldn't play a lot. But them with, I think, Zaha is going to be a good front three. How important was Gallagher last season? Will he be missed this season?
Yes, definitely. Gallagher was great for Palace last season. I mean, he was box-to-box midfielder. He has a way of being very direct with attack, but also disrupting defense and regaining possession. So, like, we really miss Conor Gallagher. I mean, he was, like, Palace fans loved him. So, you know, it is sad that he's not with us anymore. But at the same time, like, over the summer, we brought in a new defensive midfielder, Cheikh Doucouré, and he is excellent. Like, he is going to help us a lot with maintaining possession, finding passes, transitioning, you know, building a counterattack. So he's really effective. So I think him in combination with Eze, like Eze is going to have a more prominent role this year. Obviously, last year he was returning from injury and he wasn't at his best and he wasn't as involved. But he's going to be very involved this year, and I think you're going to see like Doucouré, Eze, Zaha are going to be integral to the attack. And then, of course, Michael Olise, if he can get fit and back, like he subbed on against Liverpool, which was great. But if we can see like a front, you know, him up playing on the right, putting in crosses, I think the whole dynamic is going to be good. So like, we do miss Conor Gallagher, but I think we can move on and adjust. And I don't think it's like, oh, Gallagher's gone and now we, you know, what do we do? Like, Patrick Vieira has a solution. So I'm really looking forward to, you know, the next few games and see how it plays out.
Good to know. So Diane, before we deep dive into FPL, we felt that for the benefit of our listeners, they would really like to know you as a person, and we know you and what you tweet from your handle on Twitter. But it's more important to know who you are as a person and as a manager. So we have some 10 questions, I think, lined up for you. It's called Rapid Fire. And it will be asked like from both of us. I'll go first and then Aviral will ask, and then we both will continue. So let us know, Diane, when you are ready and we can get started.
Ready.
Okay, so I'll go first, Aviral. We know that you like to go out for a run. We did our research, right? So what do you like to listen to while running? Or do you don't listen to songs? What's it like?
So I hate to disappoint you, but I don't listen to anything.
Okay.
I just listen to nature. And
Okay.
it's kind of like meditation. It's like the quiet, and you kind of have your thoughts, and it all I don't know. So yeah, I don't listen to anything when I run.
Perfect.
As a next, I have for you, if you could upgrade one position in the Palace team by selecting any player from any of the London clubs, who would that be?
In a front position?
Any position, just one player from a London team.
N'Golo Kante in midfield.
Okay, nice pick. What does your normal Saturday look like? It's Friday night, I think, the FPL deadline. So what does your normal Saturday look like? EPL games will be on Saturday.
Yeah, so the games are on Saturday morning, and so I usually make some coffee and check Twitter and put the games on. But I have a running routine, so I do go out for a run. And actually, I bring my phone with me, and I have a habit of like every mile, I check the score to see what's going on. It's kind of exciting because it's something to look forward to. It's like, oh, what's going on? And I check. And then hopefully it's something good for my FPL team.
Super interesting. And we discussed this a little bit on Twitter as well, but for our audience, what's your favorite cuisine?
Oh, I told you earlier, I love Indian food. So anytime I have an opportunity to go to an Indian restaurant, it's so delicious. Apart from that, I think any kind of food with some hot sauce or spiciness, that's what I'm all about.
Yep, we are big fans of spice too.
Yeah. Moving on, your favorite holiday destination? It can be outside of USA as well.
The Southwest US is amazing. So Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, all of those canyons and rock formations and all the hiking is just gorgeous. I love it.
Awesome. And if you were given a choice to meet one celebrity outside of sports, who would that be?
Oh gosh. Well, when I was in college, I studied abroad and I lived in Cape Town, South Africa. So if I could go back in time, I would meet Nelson Mandela. Just an amazing person. What he did in his lifetime is kind of unbelievable. So I guess I would pick him.
Great choice. Would you rather let Crystal Palace win the Premier League or you win FPL?
Palace to win the Premier League, absolutely. What do you win if you win FPL? Do you get a prize? I don't even know.
It's just the top three who get a prize. So.
Yeah, so the top three get tickets for their whichever match they want to watch. They go to UK and watch those games.
Yeah, it's a whole VIP experience. And continuing on the theme of questions that I have for you. So, from the current Palace squad, name one player that you wish that never leaves the team.
Oh, Michael Olise. It's hard. Yeah, I think he won't. I think he's going to be a big transfer. Like a big club is going to want him, but the longer, if he can stay as long as possible, that would be awesome.
Okay, moving on. Your favorite Halloween costume?
Oh gosh. Scarecrow, I guess. Last year, I made a scarecrow costume for my son, and I was a scarecrow too, so we were twins. I guess I would pick that.
Nice. And continuing on the themes of holidays, what's your favorite family activity for Christmas?
Favorite family activity at Christmas?
Yep.
Yeah.
Probably just being with family and enjoying good food together and talking and laughing. Nothing fancy, just spending time together, really.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. The next set of questions, Diane, is this or that. So you have to choose one. So to start with, city or countryside?
Oh gosh, I have to say countryside for your soul, and then city for the culture. I think you have to have a little bit of both.
Okay. Movies or TV series?
TV series.
Okay. Call or text?
Text.
Yes.
It's 2022. Text.
Yep. And last one for the round, Analytics FC or Grass FC?
Oh, Grass FC. If I have to choose one, Grass FC.
Okay. That is it for the rapid fire, Diane. Thank you for being so sporting and answering all the questions. We can now, I hope the listeners enjoyed that round as well. Let's start with the FPL discussions now, and let's see what we have in store.
Now let's dive deep into Game Week 2 first and get into the FPL bit of podcasts. So, Diane, let's start with the Game Week 2 results and discussing any games that you saw were super important for FPL, any standout picks, and game by game we can get into that. Starting off, I think, with Arsenal Leicester, which was the game to watch out for, I think, the most in this game week. Any standouts there?
Yeah, I mean, we can see Arsenal's attack is really flowing. So Gabriel Jesus, Gabriel Martinelli, they have so many Gabriels.
Yeah, we have to mention the
I was happy to have Jesus and Martinelli. And yeah, I think they are looking really good. So triple Arsenal, or at least be sure to have Jesus and Martinelli. Yeah, and then
especially
and then once again, Maddison proved that he can score for Leicester. He's just going to be ticking along with goals, so he's a good pick as well.
Right. What I like most from the game is that what Arteta is planning to do, I think it's quite similar to Manchester City, what Pep is trying to do there. Not trying to do, he's already doing there with the inverted wing backs and all. So I really like the approach with what Arsenal has started the season with. The front three, I think Saka, it's a matter of times. I think a lot of Saka owners are feeling disappointed and are letting him go. But I think it's only a matter of time until he scores and gets into the score sheet as well. He's playing a little back, I think, as a right wing back role. So that is a small matter of concern from FPL perspective. But really liked Gabriel Jesus, as Diane said, and also Martinelli. I think he is the bargain of the season for me. Him at 6 million, I think, is a great pick. What about you, Aviral? Did you watch the match?
Yep, and I'm totally aligned with what both of you said. I think to wrap it up, the bottom line for Arsenal would be just to trust the process.
Yeah, trust the process. With Leicester, I felt that it's the same thing like Baker also said last pod, right? All Leicester games start at 1-1. They are going to score in the match and they are going to concede in the match as well. So if you have double Leicester keepers to start, if you started with double Leicester keepers, something to keep in mind for the wild card. I don't think that's a longer term that's a good option to have. Maddison, like always, a great pick at 8 million. Wadi, I think there are some rumors around him going to United, and even if he stays, I think the age will be an issue of him starting all the games. So just be careful there. Apart from that, I think we have everything covered. Ramsdale, if you have him, I know there is a meme going on where 4.5 million options like Pope, Sanchez, there are 13 points already. Then Ederson is at 13 points, and then there is Ramsdale owners all at 7 points. So you just be patient, he will come good. He's a good keeper.
Also, I know like Saliba, I think he's 4.5, and it was unfortunate that he got the own goal, but he is looking really good. And like for a budget 4.5 with Arsenal's fixtures, I think he might be a good option if you're looking to free up money for another move.
Right. So shout out to Understanding Football as well. He also mentioned that if you have Saliba, he's really looked really strong and nailed, I think, he's for now. But what he also mentioned, Diane, is that once the Europa games and the league games start, then there will be a lot of midweek games, I think starting from next week. So that is when he thinks that when Tomiyasu is back, White and Saliba might be rotated at centre back. So that is just one point to keep in mind. Apart from that, great option at 4.5. Okay, moving on. I think Brighton Newcastle. I think Newcastle were really lucky to get that 1 point. Brighton really knocked the doors, carrying the form from the first game against United. Diane, did you watch the match? Do you have any players in mind? I know a lot of people are looking to, move out Bailey and get in some cheaper options midfield. So, do you have anything in mind from Brighton Newcastle game?
Yeah, I mean, I had Nick Pope, so for that it was great because it was a 10-pointer. He had lots of saves. Newcastle just really held Brighton off. I think I am looking at like a cheap Brighton option, possibly Pascal Gross, because I have Bailey and I need to figure out what to do. Unfortunately, I don't have 0.5 in the bank. I just have 5. I just have the 5 million for Bailey. So yeah, I think it's tough to go directly. But if you're looking for Brighton, you could think about Trossard at 6.5 or Gross at 5.6. I think is what he is now.
Oh yeah, after game week 1.
Yeah, because
apart from that,
fixtures are looking good for them, I think.
Which brings us to the next game, Manchester City versus Bournemouth. Diane, did you watch the match 4-0?
I just saw the highlights from it. I have Haaland and I have Phil Foden. So I was really looking to see what Foden's involvement would be. And thankfully, I mean, he just played the first half and he got a goal and an assist. But he was pulled at halftime. I think he wasn't following Pep's tactics the way that he wanted him to. He missed a crucial pass to Haaland, and Pep didn't like that, so he was out.
Yeah.
But I think he'll be back, and I'm going to keep the faith in him. And I it'll be tough against Newcastle. Foden might even get rotated. I'm not sure, but if he comes on as a sub, I'm hoping he can do something. But yeah, I mean, City assets, there are so many. There's Ake, there's Walker for cheap defensive options. Cancelo is great. Diaz, he's 6 million and he's kind of like a nailed defender option as well, but less attacking.
For Haaland, I think there was a picture going on that he just got the 2 passes in the whole game, and that's the fewest that any City forward has got under Pep. But I don't think it's a good stat to look at. But just look at the positioning that Haaland has got into. Every time whenever there was the ball was with KDB or Gundogan or Foden per se, Haaland was always at the center of the box. He was always looking for that final pass to come. So I don't think there is any need to panic for Haaland. He is a very good pick, and I'm looking for like minimum of 20-25 goals come the end of the season if he is injury free throughout the season. He is the go-to and the target man that Pep is looking for this season. So everyone, that's why, like Diane mentioned, when Foden did not make that final pass, that's why I think Pep also must have, got angry at Foden or something. But yeah, I think if you have Haaland, just be patient as long as you can get. I think there is no need to get panicked for that. I watched that game really closely because I had KDB captain, and I really want, because game week 1 did not go as per plan for me. So I really wanted KDB captain to go well this time. And I just had a feeling that KDB will be having a very good game against this. Of course, the game, the goal that he scored, the XG was pretty low for that. It's not always that a goal from that area will be scored. But just the passes, the final third passes from KDB, so extremely good. So if Haaland is going to score, it's mostly going to come from KDB. So I know it's a bit tough to adjust both of them, KDB and Haaland in the team. But yeah, if you find a way to have both, maybe avoid Salah, maybe, then yeah, very good option KDB. Okay, moving on. Southampton versus Leeds. Leeds really looked good in that first half. Southampton came back in the second half with Walker Peters' goal, but I was really impressed with Rodrigo. More so after Bamford got injured. So yeah, any one of you got the chance?
How much is Rodrigo? Is he 6 million or? Yeah.
6 million. Yeah, 6 million. I think it's 6.1 now.
Yeah.
He got that 1.1 increase yesterday, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, Rodrigo looked good. I think Big Man Bucker, he shared the stats that Rodrigo was like in the top 5 for all the attacking stats. And the kind of play that Jesse Marsh is trying to do in Leeds, I think they will get opportunities. I know they are open in defense and they will concede a lot. But attack-wise, I think if you get someone like a Rodrigo or an Aronson, might be a good pick. Most Aronson, I think 5.5. If you have that 0.5 in bank, I think a good Bailey replacement. Aronson.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything from Southampton? No. Okay. Yeah, really. I mean, I would avoid Southampton for now. Wolves, Fulham, 0-all. Neto missed a good opportunity. I watched the video as well after that, and as bad as it looked in the photo, it looked really bad in the video as well. And Let's Talk FPL also mentioned this. Most of the players would have scored that goal through the first touch, but he tried to control and got a heavy touch and missed it. Podence looked. He got the opportunities, but like Black Wolf mentioned in his tweet that he played a bit. He was a little selfish and tried to take on the defenders on his own, which I don't think will be a problem long term. I think a lot of managers are discussing if he will be dropped next game, but I think he'll be okay for now, more so until Jimenez is back from injury. I think Podence should be good. Anything from you guys from that game apart from Podence and Neto?
I didn't see the match, but how was Mitrovic? Did he miss a penalty? And how did he look?
Did.
How did he look otherwise? Was he formidable? Was he
good? Yeah, so he missed two headers, I think. One of which was, I think, a simpler one. Apart from that, he got like 2 other opportunities. And then, of course, that penalty that he got. And then Shah made that save. He is a very good penalty taker. Even last season in Championship, he scored, I think he had a 96% conversion rate in penalty. So it was a bit surprising to see him miss that penalty. But do you consider him as an FPL option, Mitrovic?
The thing is, I don't know if I want to do 3 up front, and I want to keep Gabriel Jesus and Haaland, so it's more of a structural thing. But if I decide to reinvest the funds and change structure a little bit, I would look for kind of a cheaper option. Obviously, Nunez now is like out the window because he got. Yeah, that was not good. So,
good for you.
Yeah, it was good for Palace, but So, for me, it's more of a structure thing. I just don't know if I want to do 3 forwards structure.
Yeah, I don't think him as an option for now. Let's see how it goes going forward. Brentford United. Aviral, anything from you? I closed the match after they scored 2 goals. You know that I went out to shut the TV.
Yeah.
I thought when I come back, I switch on. They'll be like 2-1 or something. I turned on the TV and then I see 4-0. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I mean, so disappointing being a United fan for now.
I was thinking of you guys because isn't your whole group Manchester United fans?
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, the FPL boys.
So I mean, it's really second half was. I won't say any bright thing about United for now, but it was a little better than first half. But first half, terrible defense, terrible attack. No, cohesiveness amongst the players. No passes, nothing. Ronaldo looked absolutely on his own, standing there as a 9. He wasn't getting anything. Sancho looked so good in pre-season, doing nothing now. So if you own any Manchester United assets, there there will be kind of a return or a fight back from United, but just avoid them for now. Just if you have Rashford, sell him. Don't be on him. If you have Dalot, absolutely avoid him. United defense is not the way to go for now. We'll take some time to figure ourselves out, and we have great options at 4.5. So don't go anywhere close to United.
Do you think there's going to be a protest for the Liverpool game? Like, do you think that game might even get cancelled? Like, what?
Very, very good point. Yeah, very good point. So, for everyone who is on Salah captain, make sure you don't have a Liverpool vice captain. Make sure you have a Manchester City or any other thing that maybe a Kane or Son if you have them as vice captain. Because if there are protests like we had last season, the game got postponed. It didn't go ahead last season. So there are chances because Manchester United fans are really angry right now, and they are going to protest heavily this next Monday. So very high chances. Very good point, Diane. Very high chances of the game getting not cancelled.
I mean, so many people have triple Liverpool right now. So that's it's something on my mind. Like, I have Robertson, Trent, and Salah. I mean, so many people do, and I don't know how much of a worry this protest is, but it would be an opportunity to transfer out Robertson to maybe mitigate the damage if it gets canceled. But I don't know, it might go on, so I don't know if that's a good enough reason to make a transfer.
It's just that game is on Monday, Diane, so we won't get much information by the deadline on Saturday. So yeah, I think we'll have to play with our luck. If you have 3 Liverpool, I think it's okay. We have good enough tanks to cover. We have Andreas. Of course, Bailey is there, so we'll have to keep. But did you already make the transfer, Diane, or do you have 2 free?
Oh, yeah.
You made the switch from Kane to Haaland,
I did Kane to Haaland in Gameweek 1, so I don't have 2 free transfers coming up. I just have the one. And I was actually thinking of rolling the transfer. Possibly, so that I'm kind of trying to decide what to do.
Yeah, that is something to keep in mind from that for that Man United Liverpool game next week. Okay, moving forward, Chelsea versus Spurs 2-2. I think the game was the kind of fight that content people had at the end of the match. I think the game was on a similar line, really attacking from Chelsea as well. Spurs didn't look good in that first half. They were really outplayed by Chelsea in every aspect possible in the game. But then they made a comeback in the second half. Kane got that. Do you guys think it was lucky? Kane was lucky to get that goal. Wasn't it a foul by Romero?
Both goals were very dirty for Spurs for me.
It bounced off James's knee, didn't it?
Yeah.
Own goal. Yeah,
I have James, so I was glad it wasn't classified as an own goal.
Yeah.
Dude, it was up and down for James. It was yellow card, then they concede, they get a goal, then they concede all of it. But James,
then also Havertz missed that chance from his cross.
So I don't know, but James is a great player to own, and I'm thinking about Cucurella. I think a lot of people are interested in him as a Chelsea prospect, so I'm keeping my eye on him because I'm not sure about having Trent and Robbo double Liverpool defense. I might want to change Robbo. So yeah, he's kind of on my radar. So is Perisic, but I don't know about the minutes. Any thoughts on Perisic from you guys?
We are avoiding Spurs wing backs for now. I think he's a very good option when he's nailed, but it's just a matter of when will he be nailed, because Sessegnon had a really good game week 1. Then he didn't have a great match last game week, but he's a very good player, and I think Conte trusts him more than Perisic for now. But now that we saw that corner being taken by Perisic, I think it's a wait and watch for now. We can maybe target him once we think that he's nailed. But I think a wait and watch for now. Cucurella, as you said, is a great option for Chelsea at 5 million. Yeah, managers looking to move out Trippier because now the games get tough for Newcastle. So if you want to replace Trippier, I think Cucurella can be a great option at 5 million. I think because Tuchel comments also said that Chilwell will take some time to recover to get back to match fitness. So he should be nailed for the next 3-4 games until we wildcard. So I think he should be a good pick at 5 million.
Yeah.
Okay, last game. I didn't watch it yesterday. I had to sleep. Liverpool Palace. Both of you, I think, watched the game. Over to you guys.
Well, I was like, I think Crystal Palace went in with a plan. They expected it to be difficult, and Liverpool were just gonna pressure them and just attack. And so Vieira set up a little bit differently. He did a 5-4-1. Zaha, the single striker. And so Zaha just kind of waited for the opportunity. And they were able to get a goal on the counterattack. A great pass from Eze. So, yeah, and then other than that, they just had to absorb the pressure. Mitchell was marking Salah, and Klein was on Luis Diaz, and then they had the 3 center backs. So it was just a really good defensive performance from Palace, and they maintained their shape, and they stayed, they stuck to the game plan. Even when there was the red card, they kind of stuck to their plan. And, they didn't go for it. Like it's possible they could have gotten a win, but I think they tried to just maintain their discipline and just try to see out the draw and get the point. So yeah, it was good from Palace.
Yeah.
It was frustrating from an FPL point of view because so many of us have Trent and Salah and Robertson. Nunez, of course, is the biggest disappointment for his owners. So it was tough from FPL, but good from a Palace fan point of view.
Yes.
We didn't talk about Brentford, and I wondered if you guys have any thoughts on Brentford assets, because I think they have good fixtures coming up, so maybe people might be looking at possibly Tony or Visa or and then of course Da Silva. A lot of people made the transfer to Da Silva.
Yeah.
What are you guys?
But especially in that order, like you mentioned, we'll also place the players in that order. Tony, if you want to get into Brentford attack, Tony is the best option. He is always central and really looked threatening in that game. Then I don't see Da Silva as a good option because both the games that he scored, even in game week 1, the chances weren't that good. Obviously, he converted it, but if you see the XG, it wasn't that high. So I'm not sure till how long will that conversion of good chances, not that good chances, continue for Da Silva. So I'm really skeptical of that pick. Apart from that, Visa is a good option. Then now, more so on Da Silva, now that they have signed, they have a new signing, right? Damsgaard, I think. Yeah. So I think, and the manager also mentioned that he will be starting from next week onwards, and he's going to play as an 8, and that is where Da Silva is currently playing. So I don't think Da Silva is a good pick for now. If you are looking into that price range, I think KDH from Leicester, and then Gordon looks good for Everton. Everton doesn't look good, but Gordon looks good for Everton. Those I would place them higher than Da Silva for now because of the good amount of chances that they are getting. Da Silva, I don't think he did anything against the United apart from that goal. I didn't find him that threatening from FPL perspective. So all in all, I think wait and watch for Brentford. Don't go there for now. For the price range that they have, there are better assets to look at. It won't be every game week that they will score 4. Right. That's not going to happen. We were pretty bad, but yeah, it's not going to be every week. We aren't going there for now. Moving on to Diane's team. I think she already told us that she's going to roll the transfer for now. She got 77 points, as you can see here. Yeah. So roll is the plan, Diane?
Yeah, I think I'm going to roll so that I have 2 free transfers next week and I can make a bigger move. Foden just scored a goal and got an assist. Like, I want to keep him. And then my main problem is Bailey. And then obviously it's going to be hard with Pope up against Manchester City. I have Ward as backup goalkeepers, but I think I would almost rather play Pope and just look for the save points rather than play Ward and just
Save points.
I don't know. I don't know if he'll get a clean sheet against Southampton. So, but the main player I feel like I'm missing out on is Cancelo. Like I have Diaz instead, and that was a financial. I didn't have the finances to get Cancelo, so. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with this bunch. I might just play Neco Williams instead of Bailey. I'm not sure.
He looked good. He looked good last game.
So that return of 7 points as well this week.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think the team looks good. Bailey is the only worry, I think, for now. But yeah, next week I think you'll be transferring him out, so I think that should be good. This week I think they play Crystal Palace, right?
Yeah.
Aston Villa.
I think that
Yeah, and that
it's
is at
Selhurst
Park.
So I think that could easily be. I won't say easily, but very possible that it would be a clean sheet for Palace.
Palace, correct. Yeah. Okay. Let's look at the games that we have this week, so that we know what games we can target. Also the captaincy, if you are not going for Salah against United. Spurs Wolves, I think it can be a good game. Wolves didn't have they looked good in the first game week. That was also away, but they in the second half I think the defense didn't look that good. I think Spurs might score, and I think Son would be a good pick if you're going to if you want a player from this game, Spurs versus Wolves. I think Son can be a good pick. Palace Villa, like Diane said, can be a clean sheet for Palace. Villa, not so sure if they score.
Yeah, and I think it might be interesting to see if Michael Olise gets more minutes in this game. And I think Palace are going to be feeling good about what they did against Liverpool. So I think it'll be a really positive performance from them. And Villa are not good away. I think they have they tend to do poorly away. So I'm not going to play Bailey.
I think it's becoming more of a trend this season that not this season, even from the second half of last season, that home and away factor is becoming crucial now. Even we saw Newcastle in game week 1, they looked absolutely on top, dominated Bournemouth 2-0 in that win. And then come Brighton, they have an away game, and then they were lucky enough to come away with 1 point. So I think the home and away factor is going to be really crucial this season. And yeah, like you said, I think Palace at Selhurst Park, everyone knows they are great defensive stats at Selhurst Park. So yeah, I am not quite sure about Bailey this week. The game I wanted to talk about is Everton-Nottingham Forest, because again the home and away factor. They had a terrible first game. They were away and conceded the most number of chances in game week 1. Come game week 2, and they absolutely played out of their minds at home. So Patterson a good option at 4 million against Nottingham for Everton, or avoid Everton for now.
Henderson is a really good keeper, isn't he? I mean,
he is.
Yeah, it's like Nottingham Forest. They have all these new players, and they're kind of like, it's like to be determined. Like we don't know quite how they're doing, but they've made some quality signings. So I think it's kind of hard to predict this game. I don't own Patterson, so I don't have any stake in it personally, but at least it's at home for Everton, which is good.
Yeah. Anything from you, Aviral? You have Patterson?
I do not, but I think this could be a pretty open game where both teams could go out attacking, and as Diane mentioned, Henderson is a great keeper, so slight chance that they pull off a clean sheet.
I think both teams will want to score and win this game, because these are the games that you want to win to stay alive in Premier League. So it should be quite an open game to start with. So let's see. I think at 4 million, because I'm not quite sure about Bailey. I'll have to either play Bailey or Patterson. So I think I'm going to go with Patterson. Leicester Southampton. What do you think about Maddison as an option that game week? Against this game,
Very good.
Southampton.
I'm jealous of Maddison owners this week.
Yeah, shame. I think he'll get the double-digit haul this game week. Southampton aren't good defensive. I don't know what's going wrong for them. They aren't good.
Yeah.
Do you have Maddison available?
Not, but he's looking very good in the first two games. Like I mentioned in last week's podcast as well, like it's more of a wait-and-watch situation with him, especially considering how Leicester City play. But
the options that they already
and it's looking more and more likely to have him in a team rather than not. So maybe sometime in the future when the structure for my team allows me, I would get him, but not this week. But I still have my eyes on him.
Do you think he's worth an 8 million mid transfer? Just in general for people?
Game week 8 onwards, yes. When new wildcard, because Leicester's games are really good after game week 8 until I think game week 13. Really, really good. So I think both Maddison and Vardy will become a very good options come the wildcard that we take in game week 8. But for now, I think Arsenal, Saka, if you have Saka, stay with them. If you have Kulusevski at 8 million, stay with them. If like you have Foden, stay with them. They are playing for much reliable teams and will get better returns than Maddison, I think. Which brings us to Arsenal Bournemouth. I think very good game for Arsenal. A lot of managers are looking for Jesus' captaincy against Bournemouth after what Manchester City did to them. But just keep in mind that Bournemouth are playing at home, Arsenal are away, and you have a man called Mo Salah playing against the worst United defense. So I wouldn't take that route. Just trust the Egyptian king.
So this is like out of left field, but Granit Xhaka, he seems to be playing fairly advanced. He just got like a double-digit haul. Do you think, like, he's 5.0, like he could be a Bailey escape route if you only have double Arsenal, you don't have Ramsdale or you don't have someone. So could he be a Bailey replacement if you don't already have triple Arsenal?
I think if you don't have triple Arsenal, I'll get that 1 million and go to Martinelli instead. He is a much better option from FPL perspective. But I think triple Arsenal would be either, because Jesus is already nailed in almost everyone's team. Martinelli or Xhaka we already need. We already have in our team. And then third one would be the defense that we are looking for. So if you want a third Arsenal, we would prefer to go to the defense, that is Ramsdale, Saliba, like you said, Zinchenko becoming a good option at 5 million, rather than going Xhaka. We won't.
Yeah, and also with Xhaka, there's an issue where he could pick up bookings and get subbed off early or even be sent off, so you're never too sure about that.
Instant red card.
Instant red card, Chelsea Leeds, again a good game for James. If you have him, you just start him. Don't think about him. Even I think Mount can be a good option against Leeds. We all remember game week 9 last season. Leeds, Chelsea, Mount I think should be a good option. Manchester City, Newcastle. What do you think about the clean sheet probability for Manchester City there? I have a feeling that Newcastle can score in that game week at home.
I don't know. I mean, they didn't score against Brighton. Like, I think I would bet on a City clean sheet. I just don't know how. I just don't think it's going to be a goal fest for City. I think it might be like a 1-0 or something to City. But you have a good point about the home advantage. I didn't really think about that with Newcastle. So yeah, maybe Wilson might be able to get a goal, or Bruno Guimaraes is like amazing. So yeah, I think this is interesting, and people are really invested. Like, people have Trippier and then all these City players, so this is kind of a tough one.
To me, it looks like one of those 3-1 games where City would be comfortably leading 3-0, and just on the counter they can get one back in the end.
One back. Yeah. United, Liverpool. Why don't you cover, Aviral? What are your expectations from this game?
I know we have the unpopular section coming up, and I have my unpopular opinion ready. United is winning 3 points. Let's go.
That's the unpopular opinion. We're looking for Diane from you as well.
That's a really unpopular opinion.
Yeah, I think we might give a fight, strong fight. Let's hope we give a response. But I made that mistake last season because I'm a United fan. I didn't captain Salah against us. I made that mistake twice last season. I don't think I'll do that again. Even if he blanks, I'm okay. I'm okay with that because it killed my ranks. I was like around 5,000. You know that I was around 5,000 that time, and then Salah got that haul against United, and it brought me down. And I didn't even own Salah. It brought me down to around 30,000 from 5,000. So it was absolutely painful for me in game week 33.
Yeah.
So I am not going to make that mistake again. I think it's okay to be a loyal fan, but FPL is FPL, and
if
I'll
you
take
think
that
about,
pain.
like, both teams are going to be so needing a win. I mean, this is like a really big game.
Correct.
Liverpool, they really need a win. They've had 2 draws.
Absolutely.
So yeah, this is like it's going to be an exciting Monday match for sure.
For sure. Okay, coming that was it from FPL perspective. Now the last bit, Diane, is regarding the unpopular opinion, like you know from now. So it's a word being used a lot in the community. So we are putting you in a spot. What is your unpopular opinion, Diane?
So I don't know how unpopular this is, but my unpopular opinion is that I think Gabriel Martinelli will score more FPL points than any 8 million mid by the end of the season.
Quite bold, and I think that can be really possible with the way Arsenal is playing right now and Martinelli getting those chances. I think quite possible. I wouldn't bet against it. So yeah, that was the unpopular opinion from Diane. That brings us to the end of the pod. Really want to thank Diane for making time for us. I know it's pretty late for her this time. So thank you, Diane, for making time and coming to the Boys Cafe. We hope to catch a lot more from you going forward. And I hope you enjoyed the pod as well.
Yeah, this was great fun. And just thank you both for inviting me on. And it's great to connect FPL USA with FPL India. And, Aviral, you're here as well. So it's wonderful meeting both of you. And thank you again.
It's our pleasure. And also for our listeners, I know a lot of them might be knowing you already, but if you want to plug where they can follow you for more of the FPL USA community and the spaces that are being posted every week, so that would be a great place to shout out.
Yeah, so we have the FPL USA space. You can keep an eye out for that. Always look for announcements from FPL Black Wolf. He'll always tell you the schedule of the space. And that's a great place to join. You can speak up if you have questions. It's very open to everybody. So we're trying to keep it open and global, and everyone's voice matters. That's a great way to join the community. And then, of course, I'm on Twitter. So I'm just at Diane_FPL. And so I'm happy to chat there, anything FPL. So yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks again. And it was lovely having you as a guest, and it's super late for you on a Monday night. So we really appreciate you staying up for this podcast. And I hope the viewers also enjoyed this and got more about you as a manager and as a person. Once again,
thank you so much.
Yeah. And I'd like to thank everyone who has watched this video so far, and I look forward to seeing you again next week with a new podcast and a new guest.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.